All right. We live. Recording is in
Okay.
effect.
Okay, so Thavian, so one of the things I'm trying to figure out, right? And I'm gonna give you a scenario. I'm trying to make it as clear as I possibly can. So, I'm gonna start the question with how are option contracts priced and then repriced? So I'm gonna give you the scenario that I'm dealing with right now. I'm just kind of trying to figure out like what it is. So I want to understand what this particular play is when it was priced. Once it dropped down and it started crawling back, I don't understand how the contract was not. The closer I got in, the closer I got to my strike price, I was still down a substantial amount of money. So when I first bought the contract, I was, even. It went up a little bit and then it started to decline after all the events that happened. So the way that it was priced when I bought it, and then after all the events that happened, it got repriced. Same strike price, same date. I'm trying to understand the correlation between as it moved closer to the money, as it moved closer to my strike price, why why was I still down so much?
All right. I already know this one. So
Okay.
you bought this back when?
I bought it in February. I executed the trade in February. So we had to deal with just the ups and downs of February, March, and then we had Liberation Day on the 2nd.
Okay. You bought it in February and now it's June and your expiration is when?
September.
September.
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard of Theta?
Okay, I'm familiar with Theta. Yeah, I'm familiar. I did the options masterclass. Yeah, so Theta. So okay, let me write that down. Theta.
Theta comes off every day.
Okay, the rate at which your contract is declining in price as it gets closer to the expiration
Yes,
date.
but it comes off every day.
Okay.
That's the key. Every day. When the stock market open up, Theta comes off your contract that day. Now,
No matter what.
no matter what.
Okay.
So your stock has to perform double time to make Theta not a factor. It still comes off regardless. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So if you bought the stock at 700 and the price was 59, like you said, and then
Yeah.
it went down and came back up to 700, but
Yeah.
now you're not positive,
Correct.
that's because the Theta been eating up every day. So the stock needs to perform double time to make
Got
it
it.
back up.
Got it. So
So
Theta went up. Okay. 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 You
So this
so
is another
Theta.
reason why entries are so important, because
Okay.
we always enter and then it go down. I would love to enter and it go immediately up, but sometimes we enter too high and it goes down. So now your stock has to fight to come back up, but it's
Got it.
still the Theta still coming off regardless.
So in a so I'm a I still count with my fingers. So in an illustrative way, I'm going to use a diver, somebody jumping in some water, and they start here, but they dive down deep. For them to get back to the top, no matter what's going on, Theta is already at work. No matter what's going on in the market, your it's going to decline. Theta represents the price that your option is declining every day. So I got to swim harder to get to the top to outpace Theta.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So that's the reason why. So because as I've been looking at it, I couldn't figure out why I had surpassed my the price the price that it was once I purchased the contracts. As it moved closer to my strike price, I couldn't understand why I was still down 30 some percent. I'm like, okay, at this point, then I could see it said, $59 purchase price, then it would say like minus 17. So I'm like, okay, so what do I have to get to, excuse me, for this contract to get close to at least break even? I bought multiple contracts. What do I have to get to? And I've been trying to understand that, which is a different question. I'm not gonna. If we got time later, I'm gonna let everybody else get their questions in. But it leads me to my next thing. So you are one of the trappers that I've been actually paying attention to, and I wanted to ask you whatever plays, whatever your method is, I took, went through the I purchased the options masterclass like a year ago this month, and I just went over that thing over and over and over. One of the things that traps constantly reinforced was us buying time. So I've been trying to get some of the other trappers their mindset once Liberation Day happened, and we were down so deep in our in our accounts. So I was down, like 80%. But because of the fact that I had bought time, so go back to the conversation I just said about I purchased one in February, it expired in September. I wasn't going to just dump that because I still had time. So I wanted to ask you, what was your mindset during that time once you saw, unless you was on the sideline, once you saw your plays down so deep?
I was a little nervous, man, because what upset me was I had just dumped some big money in Walmart and Palantir, like
Okay.
just did it.
Okay. If you don't
And
mind me asking, like the Palantir play specifically, tell me when you executed the play and what strike prices. I'm not trying to be in your business. I'm just doing some mental math.
well, no, I jumped in these in January.
Okay, so January strike price, expiration dates.
Well, no, the expirations were January 2026, but I jumped
Okay,
in.
okay, so you had a leap. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I jumped in them this year, like at the end of February, at the end of January,
okay,
because we had a small pullback,
okay,
and then it ran a little bit, and then
okay.
the fiasco happened where the
Right,
bottom
right,
was
right,
pulled
right.
out of all of
Okay,
it, and then they were just like down 70-some%. But I
okay,
had time on it. But that's one of those ones that we had to wait for it to climb out of the hole. Keep in mind,
okay.
data
So
was
you did.
still
So you didn't
small.
bail. You held on.
Yeah, I held on to that. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
my man. Okay, okay. I just wanted to ask you that because you real active in the in the Patreon, man. You one of the guys that I like watch. Like I said again, man, I appreciate you so much, man. That when I have reached out to you, send me over the sheet. You track it real good. I'm able to kind of go through and kind of eyeball it or whatever. But I've been like, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to bump into you in Dallas again, but I wanted to ask you like, what was your mindset? Because Trap bailed. I wanted to, when he was on stage, when we had the little Q&A with him, it was, so many people was asking questions or whatever. We couldn't really get to him. But I wanted to ask him, like, why did you bail on the plays that you had installed, even though you had time? Why did you bail so fast? I wanted to know that, like the main question, like, why did you bail so fast? Because we had time. And I didn't get a chance to ask that question, but I wanted to ask you too, because again, you one of the more visible figures in the Patreon, and you just answered it. Like you held on to your plays.
Well, I held on to those. Now, a lot of the ones Trap had, I even had I had a April expiration. I had a
Okay.
March expiration. And them just end up being trash.
Okay.
Should have cut them because it just wasn't no time to recover.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
held on to those. But they end up being trash. Didn't get out of them. But my Frontier and my Walmart, I held on
Okay.
to those for sure because I knew I had time on it.
Yeah, you had time. So again, I'm really big into mindset, man. Like the guys, did you did you bail on those plays? Because well, that's not what I want to ask. Like, so going to the question earlier with the stop loss, the stop losses, do you ever say to yourself, like in them turbulent times when we kind of can see, something is coming, let me install some stop losses to preserve whatever, either A, whatever profit I've already have, or B, whatever money that I have, that so I don't go deeper? Do you ever say to yourself, let me install some soft light, or is you just, pardon my French, just balls to the wall, like whatever happened?
Well, I'm not a day trader, but I'm,
Okay.
I'm actively looking at my account every day. I don't care where I am. My phone is
Okay.
in my hand. I can
Yeah.
trade. I can sell. I can do everything on my phone. So I
Okay.
don't necessarily put stop losses in. Nothing's wrong with that.
Okay.
But I do know the market targets people's stop losses, and they call that liquidity. I have learned that.
Say
And
that again.
liquidity grab.
Liquidity grab.
And and this the big hedge funds target that. Once again, nothing's wrong with that, but there's a lot of people can contest to this. You know, they stop loss hit, then boom, it bounced right back up because that's what the market wanted to do.
Okay.
Pull your money out so it can be used.
So, Fabian, let me ask you this: when you see a play up, because one of the things that I'm like trying to, and this is going to segue into my other question again. I don't want to take up nobody else's time, but I'm trying to develop some rules. So let me back up a little bit. So if you up, I had a play during Liberation Day, right? I was up 40 bands on. I was up $40,000 on, and I literally sat there and watched this play decline in price every day until the 40,000 in profit was gone, and then I was down 10. And I asked myself after the fact, now it was a really, really good play, and I was able to recoup after things started crawling back. I was able to recoup like maybe 20, 25 of it. But I was up 40, so it's 15, you know, I gave back. And I said to myself, why didn't you preserve more profit? Like, was it pride? Were you operating in pride? Were you operating in stubbornness? Were you operating in foolishness? So I'm asking you, if you see a play that you up in and you start to see it decline, do you just make because of what you just said about you watching, you know, you're having your phone with you and watch, do you just make a decision at the point and say, I'm not giving all of this back? Or do you sit and say, you know, because I got time, because all of these plays also I have time on. So do you say, I have time and maybe I can get back to this point where I was and higher?
That's a good question, man. I was just talking to a trapper in the other day where he said he had a $2,500 profit in Circle.
Okay.
And then he let it dwindle down to negative 98%. Picture that.
Okay.
2,000. Now I don't know what percentage.
He gave all the profit back and a lot, and most of his
and his initial investment.
Yeah, right.
That is heartbreaking. Now,
so what's your science on that? I want to again. You a visible face in that. You were actually on the introductory call when I first joined Trappers Anonymous. Our intro call. You were on that call.
Yeah, like I said, man. Everything we talking about, man, it doesn't happen to me.
Okay.
Talk
to me, man. I need therapy.
It's emotions, man. I mean, it's your money.
Okay.
You know, it's emotion and
so you don't do you have rules in place? What I'm asking? Do you say I'm up 60% on my play, and I start to see a decline?
I can tell you this. You can establish this rule for yourself here. But one of the guys told me, man. So you just said you was up $40K.
$40,000. Yes.
So that's a dollar amount. You know, we practice percentages in here. So what exactly was that percentage? Do you remember?
It was. This gonna sound crazy. You gonna punish me.
Just
200 some percent. I was operating in extreme greed, like because I picked it. It wasn't a play. It was something that I read on Investors Business Daily. I saw it. I peeped it. I was like, okay. I actually said this is going to be my first 100K play. I remember where I was at when I spotted it. I did all the math on it, and I was like, I like this. I like the trajectory of how the price is increasing. And I watched it flip from, I bought 40 contracts for like 9,400 or something like that. And I watched it like climb from the stock. I watched it climb just like beautiful. And I looked up one day and I'm just like, okay, you at 100%. I know the rules, 100%. Sell half, keep it moving. But I say this humbly, $9,400 is chump change to me. It didn't matter. I'm like, whatever. Let's keep going. Boom, 125, 150, 175, 200. Boom. I'm like, okay. And I'm telling my wife, I'm excited about it. I'm like, this is about to be my first $100,000 play. Price target is, I'm like, this is getting ready to be my first $100,000 play. Like, you know, that Patreon is contagious, man. Like that thing is like being at a house party that will never end. That thing is like crazy. That Patreon is when we in that cracking, when it's like really, really going down, and that thing is intoxicating. So I see it go from there. So, my 9,400 is now 18,000 and some change, 20 some thousand and some change, 30 some thousand and some change, 50 some thousand. So that's the 40. I'm like, man, I'm about to get to 100K. And then everything started happening. It held firm all the way to Liberation Day. So for me, I'm like, I know this is a solid company. I know this is like, it's working. Like everything is working, right? And I just wanted to know, should I have, obviously outside of breaking the rules, which was 100%, sell half of the contracts, let the rest of it ride. But outside of breaking that rule, that key rule, I knew I broke that rule, but I didn't care about the money. I didn't really care about the cash that I was putting up. I believed in the move. I saw it move. I wanted to know what was I being foolish in sitting it, get rid of losing the 40 and giving back 5,500 of my own money. So now the initial 9,400 I paid is now worth 4,000 and some change. Now I held on to it, so I crawled back. I finished out at like 20 some grand. But I wanted to know for yourself, were there rules in place for yourself that when you see yourself up by that amount that you say, okay, I'm not giving all this money back?
Man, you answered all your own questions, bro.
Then I really like 200 and some change. Like I was gone. It was running.
And
it was running.
Even if it went back to the 100% that you said initially was chunk.
I watched it. I literally watched it. Like it's almost like getting stole on, man. Like you see the punch coming and you just won't duck. And I'm just like, all right, boom, okay. I don't judge me. I'm asking, man. I'm talking to my family right now. I'm talking to my family right now.
Yeah, you talking about rules though.
So your rules. Yeah, I'm asking you your rules. You one of the guys that I watch in the Patreon. So I'm asking, in that situation, you heard me say I broke the rules. You would have done. What is your philosophy behind that?
Okay, so because all the other trappers in here listening, and a lot of people don't operate with that type of money that you're talking about, I'll tell you what one of the dudes told me, and he playing big money like you playing. So he might say, I'm good with taking 10%. But,
okay.
But because he playing with big money, 10% with him might be the 40,000. And he said, hey man, $40,000 is a lot of money. I'm not finna shit on $40,000. I'm finna take this profit. Okay. And it was only 10%.
Okay.
So I mean, to each his own. That's how you got to look at it. So some people in here got smaller accounts.
Okay. So I want you to put a thumb. So this is what I want. So this is for all the trappers, everybody else that's on the line. The main question that I have, right, is your rules for you entering a play. You spot a company. I want you to walk us through how you recognize a company, because people can rely on trap. They can rely on what we see, but we do our own research. Those of us that read, I want you to walk me through your rules for entry. When you so let me I think about things again. I'm real illustrative, right? I'm a real estate guy. I have like kind of abandoned. I'm a real estate guy. That's my thing. I'm really a real estate investor. That's my thing. I know I can tell you how to spot a property, how to spot a good deal, what it's going to cash flow. I can tell you all of that. It's second nature to me. How do you, again, as a person that I respect in the Patreon, when you spot a company that nobody's talking about, how do you enter? How do you say, I want to enter? I want to marry this company. I want to put some of my money in. I want to marry this company. What are your rules? So I've been writing this down just to give you a little bit of a baseline of what I'm talking about. So I look at like 200-day moving average, 50-day, 20-day, 10-day, 52-week high, low, sector favorability through FinViz, learned that through the options master class, volume correlation to movement. I don't want to trade on, just so somebody say, yeah, look at this company right here. What are your rules?
All right, I've slowly evolved because initially everything I did was based on Trap's course,
Okay.
and in Trap's course, he teach you to find your strike price. Even and you already know how to do that, right?
Yep. Strike price. Okay.
And see, even after you find your strike price,
And that's
now
the strike price is based on you do more out of the money plays, 5, 10, 15, 20.
yes,
Okay, so out of the money, out OTM, and you do okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay,
and see now even after you do all of that, now you still need to identify when you're going to enter. I've come to learn entries is everything, bro.
entry point. Okay, so entry point. So we talking about chart, and I heard the young lady be two questions before. She was talking a lot about the entry points. So okay, where you gonna get in? Okay, entry point. Okay, what else?
You got a stock in mind?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a stock in mind?
No, I'm just asking. Like, so I be all over the.
Well, I
I be
want to
all.
pull one up and we'll go through it.
I mean, a stock of mine. So okay, okay. I'm gonna throw one out, but it's not one I was really
Yeah,
interested in. But I was looking at Micron earlier today. Like they announced earnings. I started to go in on them, but rules. I'm establishing rules. One of the rules I wrote down was do not speculate trades. Do not play earnings. I'm trying to develop a set of rules for myself, not a set of rules for everybody else, but I'm trying to become more disciplined in myself.
okay,
Like, don't
Micron is
violate
perfect.
these rules.
Micron is perfect.
Okay. If you were going to evaluate Micron from 625.25, that's today's date, and you were going to evaluate them going forward, what rules would you, what set of questions would you ask yourself if this is a good play?
First thing is how close it is to the all-time high.
Okay. All-time high.
Because at the end of the day, right now, what you're trying to establish is profitability.
Profitability for yourself.
Yeah, before you enter. If you're at the all-time high, you have no way to gauge profitability because now you don't know how high it can go. But if you are 20, 30% from the all-time high, then you know you have a probability of getting at least 20 to 30% profit based on your current stock price from the all-time high.
Okay.
And if you get it, if you're looking at the play and you're too close to the all-time high, I just put an alert in. I'm more comfortable when the stock comes back down to this price, and I don't look at it no more.
Okay, so a pullback from an all-time high.
Because you'll end up trying to talk yourself into playing the play because everybody's talking about it. But everybody's talking about it was in it a long time ago. They already reaping the benefits of it.
Okay.
And when new people join the group and they hear us in here ranting and raving about profits, they jumping in.
Yeah. I just told you that Patreon is intoxicating, man.
Yeah.
I need to go to NAAA something, man. Like that thing is intoxicating, man. That thing is intoxicating, man. For real. I'm a crackhead in a crack house. For real. That thing is intoxicating, man. You said what?
But it's motivating at the same time, though.
So motivating at the same time. It's like gas for me. It's yeah, I love it. I wouldn't trade it in, but it's intoxicating.
Can y'all see that?
I see it. I think mine's is more mental again, and that's why. And I want to get back to this. The rules, like what rules do you have? So he's talked about pull back from all time high. What other rules do you have, Fabian? Like that you say I won't today when I saw Micron, I wanted to do an earnings play, but then I turned around and said, in the master's class, I said don't do earnings plays, like don't because it could go against you. So, Micron I've been running for the last month. It's up like 34% in the last month. What rules do you have to keep you in check?
Well, yeah, that's one. I have played earnings before too.
Okay.
Won one or two, lost it one or two. So one of those rules is, yeah, don't play earnings,
Okay.
regardless of what the outcome is. Don't buy at the all-time high. Now, when you're in your options chain, another one of my rules is I initially look for deltas that are above 50 cents. You familiar with that?
I am deltas above 50 cents. So deltas that say you are more likely than not to for this play to expire in the money.
Well, delta is the amount of money your contract pays every
Earning.
time the stock moves $1.
Correct. So 50 cent, I mean, if it move $1, you get 50 cent on your contract.
Yeah, because that's why I want to at least start at. Now, if the play goes south, of course, the delta is going to go south. So that's one reason for trying to at least start on good footing with a high delta, just in case the play goes south. Now, I have ran some plays with 20-cent deltas, but my research told me that we're at the bottom and this play has nowhere to go but up on some plays. So that's just kind of knowing what you're doing. But most of the
Okay, so
plays,
David, so David, those of us that are in here, like you just said some key. You said, you bought a 20 cent delta, but it's at the bottom. How do you know that? Like, I think that's what the people want to know, because now you talk about entries.
well, that goes back to looking at the stock you're looking at. You know what they say. Now professionals will tell you do not touch a stock when it's under the 200-day.
Correct.
I will.
So talk to us about that. That's
I'm just saying,
that's one of my rules. That's one of my rules. I'm looking at it. Don't touch a stock that's under the 200-day moving average. That's one of my rules right there. I wrote down. I got that from Investors Business Daily. So talk to me.
All right. So the last play I did like that was Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly had been under the 200-day for a long time. Everybody just say, professionals will say, wait till it clears the 200-day. That lets you know it's going to go up, because it could touch the 200 and come right back down. But I was looking at RSI, extremely undersold. RSI had got down to like 19. From research, Eli Lilly didn't go up under 700, but maybe once or twice. After that, it stayed above 700 and went to 715, back down to 700, 715, got up to 725, went back down to 715. It stayed in that range. So at that point, you kind of know that it's consolidating. So that letting you know the boys getting ready to come in and put some money in it. But that's just something you're going to learn with time.
Okay.
So
Eli Lilly is a little bit a tad bit different. I'm not really, because it still breaks the rules, what you just said. But that's a industry leader. That's a market leader.
Yeah.
Like, it's not you. So if it break the 200-day, like, you for real, then you'd almost caught it in the clearance aisle. Is what I'm almost hearing you say. Like what is like. This a real Louis bag. This a real, Gucci bag in the clearance aisle. How did this get here? Like,
exactly.
Got it. Okay.
So, like I said, that's a rule a lot of people use. And I think Ashley was asking me about the alligator. That's another one of the alligator methods. When you're using the alligator, it'll tell you wait till the stock goes above the 200-day moving average. But like I said, if it's been up under the 200-day for a minute, it's a good stock, like Eli Lilly is.
Yeah.
With
new products coming out, with new stuff coming out.
Yeah,
with new stuff coming out, like all-timer drug. With new stuff coming out, they're gonna have a monopoly in that part of the market as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Leader
that
market.
might be one of your
Clearance out.
rules.
Go.
That might be
Okay.
one of your rules. It's not my rule, but it is a rule in the stock game. But sometimes I go over that.
Okay. What else? Oh, that's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. But I'm gonna put a bookmark on that one. What else?
All right, there's a thing called delta to theta ratio.
Okay.
Remember what I said about theta.
Okay. Delta to theta ratio. Okay.
All right. So remember I told you earlier about theta, it comes off every day.
Right.
All right. Some stocks got high thetas. We talking 20. That's 20 cents a day coming off your contract times 100. So that adds up, like you was talking about when you jumped in February and it's June now. So you got to kind of have a look at your delta to theta ratio.
Does the theta change at any point when you buy the contract? Does it change at any point? Does the theta
Yeah,
speed up? Okay.
yeah, speed up.
When does it speed up?
It just the rate might, because like I said, you might initially start when you buy your contract. Hold on a second. Pull up my option chain. What platform you on?
Schwab.
Schwab. Okay, boom. I'm Schwab. Okay.
Fabian,
Yo.
this Sheila from this morning when I messaged you, or either you replied to me about changing my settings to last when I was asking about the bid and the ask price.
Yeah.
It's in my option setting or in the group setting in the Discord. Sorry, Patreon. Because I didn't see it.
I have Schwab, so I'm gonna pull mine up here real quick.
Okay, if it's in Webull, I'll find it because I know how to look at the option change and how to put different like percentage or whatever, open interest and whatever I want. It's just that on that wing play, it was like about $40 difference between the bid and the ask, and I thought we didn't do that type of play, that big a gap,
All right, right here. This is my option chain. It's for MU.
Okay.
Now, Sheila, this is what I'm talking about right here. See last?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I have that turned on, and over here we got customization. So that's how I turn that on. Edit columns.
Okay.
So if you have that on your platform,
yeah, I've seen it.
That's how you'll turn that on. So last is just nothing more that the last bid that was accepted.
6:30. Okay.
Yeah, 6:30.
Okay.
So the ask is 6:40. The bid is 6:15. The last thing somebody paid was 6:30.
Okay.
Now will I pay that 6:30? Probably not. I'm gonna stick right here and wait it out on the 6:15 or go lower.
Yeah, because I was like, that's okay, cool.
Right, Tavis.
I'm here.
All right. So you see my screen here, man. So
Yeah, Tavares is my name. Tavares.
Okay. Like I
Tavares,
was telling her, I got all my customizations right here. So I got my
Okay.
theta pulled up, my theta column, my delta. So that's why I say you can turn all this on. Your OI, your open interest. That's what Trap show you in the course. The volume, and then the change in price. I don't too much care about who I do for some things. But right now, I like to focus on calls. So I'm gonna clear all that other stuff out. Right now, it's only showing me 8 strikes and 6 expirations. I want to see everything. So I open it up all. I open up all. And now it gives me all the expirations. Now, another question everybody might have is, how do you pick your expiration? Because Trap just telling you the formula to establish your strike price. So I immediately train myself to go 6 months out from where I am right now. I'll start there. Once again, it still depends on how much money you want to spend. So the farther you go out, those contracts will get more and more expensive. But once again, you're buying time.
Okay, so that's one of your rules.
That's one of my rules and strategy as far as starting to establish the play. 6 months. So I got my strike. Let's say right now, MU is at 127, 125. So I can say I want to do a strike of 130. I feel it'll hit 130. You agree with that?
Yep. When I was looking at
Okay.
it today, that was my strike price, 130.
Right. Boom. Everybody has established that they're in MU. They want to take a look at it. And we did our math with the formula, and the strike is 130. So now I got my strike. Now I'm gonna go 6 months out. We in June right now, right? So 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, June 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'll be this summer.
November.
So that'll be the first one I pull up. Now these are all my options available, and we said what the strike was, 130.
130.
That's it right there. So now these are your numbers that you're looking to play with right here. I'm always looking at the low. I don't even look at the ask. The ask is 1985. I'm looking at the low, 1705. Keep in mind that this is after hours, so you know the market open up tomorrow, that number gonna change instantly. But you kind of got a gauge to play with while you're working your numbers after hours. So 1705. Another reason I like looking at the entire options chain, even though your math that you did with the formula said you want to do a one strike, 130 may not have the best numbers. What's one of the things in the course that Trap tell you to look for first? Anybody can answer.
Open interest and volume.
There you go, open interest. We're just gonna go with open interest. See, I got this column pulled up right here, open interest. So all I gotta do is look down this line right here now and just see what's the best open interest. We said we looking for a 130 strike, but is the 130 strike actually has the more open interest? So now here where you go start making even tighter decisions. 130 is just a gauge. So you might say, boom, my math said 130, open interest is 2,075. But look, 135, there's more people in that play.
Mm-hmm.
And
So real quick, David, I just need to ask this while it's on my mind. So I've always tried to understand open interest. Open interest is how many contracts are available, or how many people are looking to get into that contract.
open interest is how many people in the play right now, how many contracts out there.
How many people are in that play? Got it.
Yeah. So that's what that is. Because at the end of the day, you need a lot of people in there. Because hey man, there's a few plays that not sell. Nobody wanted them. I had a few plays that expired because the open interest ended up dwindling. So you want to kind of make sure you got enough people in the play, and over time, a lot of people will get out of the play, and you're not
So how
even
many
aware.
people have bought that contract? How many people have bought that same contract, that same strike price, that same date?
Correct.
Got it. And open interest, according in the options masterclass, the higher the open interest, the better situation you in.
Correct.
Got it.
Question.
Go ahead.
When you finish, can you do an example when you said go 10% over? So when would I look to do a 10% over my price?
Well, okay, the current price right now is 127.
Yeah, so 10%. I get that 137.
Yeah.
Okay, but
so just for fun, I just said 130, but 130 is 10%. But yeah, that's basically what you're doing there.
And that's to do a call as well? Going
Yep.
10% over? Okay.
Yep. So if I'm doing the math right now,
That's after I've calculated. I know it has room above that all-time high, correct? Or it's not. Okay.
So doing the math formula based on the current stock price 127, 10% will put you at 139. So there is no 139 strike. So that's when you look for one up or one down.
Yeah.
So you do have 140. But once again, is 140 the best open interest? And Tavares, right?
Yep, Tavares.
Okay, you was asking me about one of my rules. One of my rules is I want to try to get in a play at least above 50-cent delta. So this is another decision that I'm making. So based off this math, we just did the formula. The formula said a strike of 139. We don't have a 139 option, but we do have 140. So that's what you would go with.
So the 140 play have the open the delta is above 50 cent.
It's not.
It's not, okay.
See right there? It's 46.
46. Okay.
But guess what? The 135 is 51 cent.
Got it.
So when I'm looking at option change, I'm the type of decision that I'm making based on Trap's formula and my rules combined. Because at the end of the day, Trap told you to do this. Formula close to strike for the 10%. That's 140.
And he also said, he said like 12,000 open interest or something. That's a lot.
Well, here's the thing about that. Open interest is just based on how popular the stock is in that particular strike. So you're not going to get some, like NVIDIA, a lot of people always play that. So you're going to see 15, 20,000, 20K open interest. Something like a stock that's not popular, it might only have 1,000 open interest versus the other plays. So if you pulled up a play that wasn't popular, and you just kind of looking at, okay, everybody's in this strike, the rest of them got like 5, 10, 15. This the only one got 500 people in it. So if you like that stock, it's the best open interest for that play. That's pretty much when you go in. Only 500 people in there, but on the other strikes, there's nobody in them. If you really want to play that one, then you're just gonna have to jump in the one with 500 people in it.
Do you look at volume?
Volume really is just what's going on that day.
Okay.
Because if you look at volume on the weekend, it's 0. So this kind of tells you, how many people jumped in that day.
Okay.
Like here, open interest 2,202. It had 109 activity today. Tomorrow it might not have no activity, but the same people still in this open interest, 2002. You come in later, more people get into it, and it could end up being 3,000. But once you're in the play, you can always check those numbers to see if they're going up and down.
So are you doing any? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Sheila, go ahead, because you in the middle of your questions.
Are you doing any charting like to determine your strike price, or just going with this formula?
I
hope you say no.
Say that again.
I said I hope you say no. No charting. I mean, I got it. I like volume, actually. Me, I like demand. I like to do it.
Here's the thing, though. You can play this game and make money without charting. That's how Trap started.
Yeah.
Now you still, in order to do that, you still need to know moving averages.
I got all of it.
And RSI at least.
I know that is just it's my entry. So if I can avoid like all of those levels, like, okay, my next level is this, my next level is that,
You can avoid that because like I've been with Trap 2 years now, and that's not how we started, but that's where I am now, which just gives you better entry opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I want to learn how to do it myself. Not saying not get anything from you, but like some people that I follow, I don't want to like keep trading with them, you know, I want to know how I'm getting that.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, Fabian, before you get off the screen, let me ask you. Because I see that you're going back and forth between the 130 and the 135 strike price.
Hmm.
So which one is carrying more weight for you, the open interest or the Greeks? Because I see that even though there's not as many open interest for the 130, the delta looks better for the 130 than it does for the 135.
Correct. That'll be one of my requirements. Here's another thing too, though. Once again, this is MU, right? Y'all see that, right?
Mhm.
Now, even though we're looking at this and we selecting strike prices, I wouldn't get in this. Now. Y'all know why, right?
It's too expensive. No.
Because
Uh,
it's close to the all-time high.
Okay.
um,
Where's the all-time high? Which one? What was it?
yeah, I don't use this platform, so I can't really tell. Oh, I think I see it. The 52-week high is
not.
Maybe
is
142,
140.
something like that. 142,
It was
144.
144.07.
Yeah.
Oh, 144.07. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But this, Sheila, this is another thing you can turn on that I use right here. See this column? 52-week high, 52-week low.
Yeah.
These are the premiums, the premium price. So the 52-week high premium that was paid for this contract, the high is 52.41. And the low is 95. So this is almost like tracking the stock price, but you kind of gauging your risk to reward right here. So the current price is 16. So I know that this thing can get up to $52. $52.
Mm.
Hadn't been there in a while, but that just lets you know your growth potential, risk reward. But like I said, this MU been running, so we not that far from the high.
Okay.
But it's been running. So like Tavares, am I saying that right now? I keep forgetting.
So you stand there tomorrow. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Tavares was saying, when you when you swimming, you got to swim twice as hard to get back to the top.
Yeah, because you're trying to beat the theta. Got it.
Yeah, so yeah, this thing has been running, and now it's gonna need to cool off. So we may get up there. They just did earnings. They beat earnings. They blew it out the water. They moved up again, but I feel this thing will pull back to 115 to 120, and that's probably when I would enter. And keep in mind, all of this right here is going to be cheaper then.
Yeah.
But if you kind of want to keep your eye on that particular strike, now I said that this was going to pull back to 115, 120. If it does that, now you need a new strike, to be honest with you, or you can still play with this strike right here. It's just going to be a lot cheaper. But
Gotcha.
Fabian, are you charting option calls at all? Sometimes I'll look at them just to be doing something, but are you actually charting the options?
the ones here lately, a lot of this stuff I've been in was back to January. So you saw why I did the Walmart one. And
Oh, I thought that was just the actual stock price. That was the contract chart.
well, yeah, I was tracking the movement because I was already in some contracts, so I needed to start making a decision because the thing was up in September. So I charted it to see what the potential it could do, or do I need to go ahead and cut my losses?
You had it in the group today?
Yeah, I posted that one in the group.
Oh, okay. The only thing we have in the group is like where it says chat and home, right? That's it. That's where all the action is.
Yeah, home
Okay.
is what Trap post the main.
Okay. Yeah.
The new chat that you see us in right now,
Mhm.
that's kind of new. They started that this year.
Oh, okay.
It used to be everything was done in the main chat where Trap dropped the plays.
Mhm.
So that's where his plays are initially dropped. Then because they can't get lost in the
Yeah.
Yeah, at this
money
point,
printing.
I think all of us just need to go to the Patreon main page or something and
Yeah,
just request to put a search bar in there because there's so many of us in there and it's a lot of valuable information that you will never find again if you miss it, you don't screenshot it.
Yeah. I screenshot
And
because
they
it
got
only went to
Patreon.
May. I was trying to go back to April, but it only went to May for me on the home screen today because
Mm.
Kim was
oh,
telling me where a play
it'll go
was.
back 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it really
Oh, it
will.
didn't. It
It
just
will.
went
Yeah,
to
it'll go back
May.
2, 3 years. Yeah.
Really?
Because when I first joined, I went back like a year because I wanted to pull up all the lottery picks that he put in there. So
Yeah, that's
that
what
was
I was
just me
looking
doing my
for.
due diligence.
Hmm. Oh, I didn't see it. She told me April, and it only went to May, and I was under the section where Trapper posts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
you
didn't.
can go in the search. You can go in the search thing up there
Mhm.
and just put in lottery picks, put
Okay.
in plays, or you
Okay.
can put in the search engine is real strong. So anything you pull up, it got keyword recognition. It'll pull all those posts up.
Okay.
All right, what was that last question we was on?
I think Ashley had a question.
No, that was it. I don't have anything else.
So you just asking if I chart now to make my decisions?
Well, no, I mean like the actual call. Because sometimes I will type in the calls into the trading view and just see how the call has moved, how expensive it has been over time, where it is right now, and just trying to see do the moving averages do they really mirror like what would be on the actual stock chart?
I got you. Oh man, I love this whole option chain though. After I do a lot of real time shopping in here, man. This where I break it down at, and I go through all this thought process that y'all hear me talking about. Like say the 130 versus the 135. Looking at the current, like so I'm always looking at the bid. I don't really look at the ask. I kind of get an idea of what the last price was. And then do everybody set stock alerts?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
use I use Robinhood for that though. This is Charles Schwab right here,
Yeah,
Fabian.
yeah.
This actually looks a lot neater and cleaner. I'm on E-Trade, and it's not the same on the desktop as it is on the phone. So I don't really see all the information just right here, but the desktop version, I hate it. So I
Yeah.
barely get on there. But I use Robinhood to set alerts.
So like right now, a lot of people drop tickers in the chat. Uh, I pull them up, for shits and giggles. Um, some companies I never heard of. So just say somebody drop MU in the chat. I'll pull it up, see if it's close to the all-time high with this one right here, and then I'll be like, yeah, that's too high for me right now, but looks like a good play. I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert in for 120. So I set my alert for when the stock price hit 120, and then I visit it then. But in the meantime, I'm looking at it at 128. I'm looking at this right here. The premium was 1640. So I make a mental note of that. When the stock price dropped to 120 and my alert go off, then I come in here and revisit it and just kind of see what the premium prices are at that time. If I'm comfortable with that 120, I feel like it'll be a good entry. Then I'll start looking at what strike price I want to choose. If it falls to 120, I might do a strike price of 125. And I'll come over here. Keep in mind it's 1705 now, but it'll be much cheaper than that by the time the stock drops down to 120. And then I'll start looking at my open interest and delta. So right now this delta is 65 cents, right? 125. No, it's 60 cents. And you know that's one of my rules, anything above 50. But that's based on the stock price of 128 right now. So this 60 cent probably be 55 cents by the time this thing drops down to 120. So you got to kind of keep that in mind too.
Question, Fabian. So say like that strike price is 1705. Okay. The bid. Okay. And you want to get, just say you want to get it lower than that. You want to get it maybe at 1650.
Okay.
Okay.
So on my board right here, if this is the one I want to do.
Okay. So that's, what's that? 1640?
Yeah.
Okay. So say like you want the 1640.
So,
and it fill at the 1640. Okay.
So right here, this just me looking at the option chain after I'm comfortable with my decision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go click here.
Yeah.
And
So, but say like when it fill at that 1640, if that's the price you want, right?
Yeah.
When it fill your order, you already down the difference between those two prices, right?
Say that again.
So say like if it's fill at that 1640, the difference between that 1640 and that 1795, I don't have a calculator. Whoever, real estate guy, can you do that math right quick, Mr. Tavares?
What's the math? What's the Tavares? What's the math again?
Okay, so the 1640 minus the 1795 minus 1640.
1795 minus 1640, so about $1.54.
$154, right?
Yeah, $154. Yeah.
Okay, so right, Tabor. Let me see. I'm saying your name wrong.
Tavares.
I'm sorry. No, but Tabor. So say like if it fill at your 1640. Okay, you already in the negative, right?
No, that's not how that works. You kept asking me about spreads, and I was wondering why that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
Because when I get in a trade, if it jumps to a big spread like that, it has me negative maybe $20 already because
that's because the play went down.
Okay.
But, yeah, the spreads don't have nothing. You want to get in at the cheapest price possible.
Yeah, I do.
And it still could go down from that point.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay, it did go down. That's true.
Now it can come back up. Now you can pay that $17.95, but you ain't got to. Yeah, you ain't got to.
I don't even.
You can sit here and keep in mind, spend more money, make more money.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna try this little formula that you said. So I'm gonna pick me a stock, look at it, see how far it is, because all that charting is just running me. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, don't trip up on the spreads now, because some of these things are extremely out of whack. It's some platforms could be a $2 difference.
Yeah.
And that extra money just going to the platform. You do want to keep these spreads tight.
Yeah.
Now, like this 1795 and this 718 and this 1640. If you just want to go ahead and execute the play, get out of the way, you ain't got time to be waiting on it. You can hit that and be done with it. But if you want to save a few pennies, keep in mind 5 cents is $5 times 100.
Yep.
So those cents add up. So I mean, a lot of times I don't even pick this because I kind of done dialed in that even though there's 1640, I might just say 1600. I just bring this all the way down to 16, and I said this is when I want to get in.
That's where you want to get in at, right?
Yeah, might not
And
even
you
execute.
just set it. Okay.
Set it and forget it. And see right
Okay.
here, I could say I'm willing to wait all day for this, and then at the end of the day, if it don't hit, it'll expire. But if I say, man, I'm good with these numbers, whenever it hit, I'm good. I can go good to cancel, and it could execute, 4 to 5 days from now. But I don't set it and forget it.
Thank you.
And the candles do go up and down.
Well, David, I could tell everybody getting tired, but just one last question: How do you get your information, man? Like, how do you? Because we obviously got the one. I kind of chuckled a little bit when Trap dropped the wing play yesterday. I chuckled. I'm like, this is the last wing play was a massive failure. The last wing play was a massive failure. So I was like, how do you get your information? Like for companies that ain't nobody talking about.
Well, you know what? I pretty much go with what everybody talking about, but I pick and choose. I don't
Okay.
jump like wing. That's not a favorite of mine. I didn't get in the last one. Waste management. I ain't getting that.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling waste management. I get what they doing. This is safe haven. You want to just park some money somewhere, but it's cool. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, wing. Yeah, I understand. Like if you catch them, what's the? I actually wanted to open up a buy and hold position in Sprouts Farmers Market, but I think that's kind of like if you just really want to be safe. What was another one that I was? What's the food? The ones that do like Sweet Greens. What's that restaurant group
You got
called?
Sweet Greens, Kava,
Kava.
Chipotle.
Kava. That's what I'm thinking of right there. Like they own Kava. I thought about opening up a buy and hold position in them just as a safe space. They growing decent. Sweet Green is kind of like been up and down, but Kava was high. They didn't dip down. Is they gonna get back? I'm not really sure, but at some point, this is kind of like the way people is going. So I just wanted to kind of get your mindset on, how you find positions that may not be super favorable, but they, at least keeping up with the S&P, if not maybe beating them a little bit, maybe not as much, but it's safe. You ain't gonna lose no money with them.
Yeah. Well, I go ahead. I just ran a Kava play. When Trap ran the wing, I ran the Kava.
Oh.
He did a food industry, so I did a food industry, but I did Kava versus wing. Now, wing and Kava was in the same last year. Then wing fell off the cliff. Probably a month later, Kava fell off the cliff, and wing has slowly been coming back up. Where now Kava is at that level where it's getting ready to come back up. So I was telling you about the 200 MA, right?
Right.
I jumped in early, and I'm willing to wait it out. And I ain't saying I broke my rule right here, but me sniping the chain, I jumped in the Kava play with a 2027 expiration.
Yeah.
But my strike price is like almost in the money. No, it ain't. My strike price is way out of the money, but my strike price is based on where the stock once was before it fell off the cliff, which was 140.
Right.
We at 70 something now. See that risk reward? I have all that in front of me to climb back up to. So if we don't get back up to 140, we good for at least 120, 125. That's where it hung out for a long time, for a minute. So I have that risk to reward. I'm not even trying to keep it to 2027, but when you buy that far out like that, the theta is extremely low. Remember, I tell you, theta eats every day. This theta is under 1 cent, like a percent.
The market is rewarding you for taking that risk.
Yeah, that's my strategy on that play right there. And I think it'll be back up to 120.25 before the end of the year.
Well, Fabian, I appreciate you, man. Listen, I need some one-on-one counseling for real. Before my wife put me out, because I'm taking a lot of chances out here in these Wall Street streets. I appreciate you, man. This has been, and then for everybody else that's been on here talking, I appreciate y'all. Like this is good. This is really good for me.
Hey, yeah, y'all write this one down and do your own research and due diligence.
What, Carver?
Carver,
Yeah, I'm about to. Don't worry.
I got a 140 expiration. I mean, I got a 140 strike.
Okay.
January 15th, 2027 expiration. I paid 606. This how trap when y'all getting the plays from trap. My
Oh, that's
premium was
easy.
606.
Okay.
So right now, when the market closed, it's at 615.
Okay.
So I'm slightly up. So you can get in a little bit above me, or you can wait on a pullback and get it under 606 because it ain't finna run right away.
Yeah, Fabian like that slow money. I like it though. It's safe.
Yeah. But like he said, he may be out before the end of the year. So
Yeah, because he gonna get into them bumps like when it pop. Like certain stocks I've been watching like Kava, like it'll pop. Like it'll just run for. It'll be what you say was that, Fabian? What number you say was that right now?
Oh, it's about $70-something last time.
$70-some. Like when I was in the Kava play, since we've been on the call, I just went back. I did the Kava play when Trap dropped it. It was at like 140 something. I think the strike was like maybe 150. I'm kind of free balling, but it was like 150, something like that. It was an epic failure. It was like an epic failure. Like it never went green. And even with it going down to 70 something, like you just said, it touched them numbers. So you know that it can touch them numbers again. Ain't nothing really changed about the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, they indulge in healthy foods in cities like where I live. Healthy foods, them. They not sweet greens, but they in that sweet green space, that healthy Mediterranean type of, New York City. They play in that, healthy eating. You know what I'm saying, and that's what like people moving towards. So yeah.
Sweet greens is a little cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper, $15, something like that. 13 years, super cheap.
do you keep that rule for looking for fast moving stocks or no?
Oh yeah, that's me all day.
Okay.
I don't want to say fast, but movers.
Yeah. Well, I just look them up to see if it's a fast moving. Okay.
What about ideas? What's your best ideas right now, Thadian? Like ideas, like you see the way the world is changing. Like I woke up one morning and I'm not a tech guy, but like AI. Obviously you hear that that's a catchphrase, but like where things are going. Like the way what's your best ideas? Like you can see this technology being implemented in our lives. I would have never thought 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I could say Siri or Alexa, tell me XYZ. Like, what's your best ideas?
Well, man, just listening at the news and following these certain stocks, man. Stuff like the Waymo, they building all these data centers. Them gonna be new jobs.
Quantum computing.
Yeah, all of that, man. And you're gonna need some more engineers, man. Just going to school.
What's your thoughts on SoundHound?
I heard of them.
It's slow mover.
Yeah, it's a play though, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell y'all a quick. I don't want to take up nobody's time. I'm enjoying y'all right now. SoundHound, I caught SoundHound at like $5 and some change, right?
Yeah.
And it bumped on an earnings call, like went up to like $8 or something. I made like 35 grand. In typical Tavares fashion, gave it all back and some more of my money. Gave it all back and all of my money. but I actually started researching the company and like what they was doing. So SoundHound, as I understand it, is they get into the cars. They want to do like whatever you want to call your car, Jade. Jade. People name their cars different things, like with them electric cars or these, the new cars. Like you give them a name. Uh, SoundHound is like, order me a black coffee from the closest Starbucks, and the car will start directing you to the closest Starbucks. And when you get to the location, your coffee is ready.
Yeah, SoundHound, the system that McDonald's runs when you pull up to the drive-through, that's SoundHound.
I'm in Chicago, so White Castle implements SoundHound. Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. So I see this as something that's going to be prevalent towards the future. So I opened up a buy and hold position in them because I'm waiting for them to pop, $9, $10. I'm waiting for it to pop 25, 30, 40, and then get bought out. I've seen it as high as $22, $23 and then pull back. Because it's not financially, they losing money, but they got a good idea. So that's what I'm asking. Like, what's y'all best ideas?
I just pulled this stock up. So you say it got up to 27 because it's at 9 now.
22. Yes, it's at 9. But yes, it's at 9 and some change. But I've seen it as high as 22. If you look at 52-week high, you will see it at like 21, 22, maybe even $23.
Yeah, that was in December. Okay, it just did a big correction. I'm looking back in October of last year. It was under $7, and then we got that spike up in December. That's where the all-time high came. Then it came back down around January, leveled out between January and February. Then it did a dip in February.
Idea, not a good company. Against everything the Options Masterclass teaches us and everything that you teach, because you buy good companies. I'm listening to you. I'm jotting all your notes, man. So you buy good companies. But what's your best? Where you want to take a risk? I want to know your ideas. I want to know your best ideas.
Well, I ain't saying I'm taking a risk right now, but APLD is my next feature.
Yep, I got them 50 shares at $7 right now.
APLD. Can y'all talk about it? Y'all got time? Can y'all talk about it?
Go ahead, Josh.
Me, basically, I just looked at it because you're gonna need them for the data centers and infrastructure.
Josh, tell us what they do. What they do? What do they do?
It's cooling.
Cool. Okay.
Because when you build the infrastructure, these data centers and everything like that, those data centers have to keep cool.
And they're on NVIDIA's payroll.
Yep.
So they're associated with NVIDIA. Got it.
Let me pull up. I had my research thing. I got to find the tab that I got them on because I took a bunch of notes. Hold on.
So my 10 stock checklist, APLD was not one of them. But if you're talking about something incorporating that's new, I looked at this last week, APLD, because of their association with NVIDIA and, like he said, the cooling systems. And it ran up 2 weeks ago all the way up to 15.
Yep.
It was real popular. So I said, boom, let me watch this. So this is me real time. I was like, let me watch this. It's 15. It just ran up, so it's going to pull back. So I set a limit order, not a limit order, but I set an alert for when it falls under 1150.
Okay.
So that let me know that it did pull back. My alert went off for 1150. Then it went back up to like $12. Then I set another alert for 11. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and establish me a position in buy and hold. Let me just get 20 shares just to get in there because I know it can go lower than 10.
Yeah, it went to 9 something today.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. LPLD. Okay. That's an idea.
How long are you holding your buy and hold?
Well, if everybody's been listening to Palantir, right? Everybody's familiar with Palantir now.
Yeah.
This right here is where Palantir used to be. So
Yep.
I was not privileged to be at the beginning of Palantir when it was $9, $10. This is going to do the same thing in about 3 years.
So most of these brand new stocks, it's gonna take a hot minute for
Yeah.
them to even. So what I kind of do is I create a list and I look at ETFs. So you got quantum computing, you got global data center, which is a DTCR. I look at the ETF and I look at the companies within that ETF. And then once I do that, I look at the partnerships with the bigger companies because which that's where I found APLD was partnered with NVIDIA.
I like it.
So I
Okay,
use
thank you for that,
the
Josh.
ATF, I use the ETF to find the particular companies, or like to say the Russell and those smaller ones,
Yeah.
and then I
Okay.
look at their partnerships on their websites.
So let me ask a quick question real quick. So what you basically doing is you finding where strategic partnerships is this company in an ETF that is popular?
It's not going to be an ETF that's popular, but the ETF is going to get created because these stocks are too volatile.
Hmm.
So you got D Wave, you got Palantir, you got Rigetti, you got IonQ, Alibaba. Those are volatile, but there's an ETF for quantum computing.
Yeah, I think that's
So if you look at that particular ETF for as data centers, quantum computing, or whatever industry or sector they in, you can kind of pick and do your research to find a Palantir or APLD.
I think what I'm asking is, are you looking for ETFs that are adding companies like LPD, not necessarily them, but small positions? Like if you look at the ETF, what it's holding, are you looking for ETFs that are adding these sort of companies as a small position?
Yeah.
Got it.
See,
Like,
what I don't want to do now is get distracted. So if you got your 10 stock checklist and you stay focused on that, remember Trap says, even if it's buy and hold, you got your top 5, and then your bench players, your next 5 for a total of 10. You start out with I want to have 20 shares in each. Then after all stocks got 20 shares, then boom, now I want to graduate. I want all to have 50 shares and then 100 shares. So I don't want to get distracted with constantly looking at new stocks all the time. So
Right.
that's why I don't look no more.
Right.
But I do pull up tickers when I hear people talking about them just to, engage them. And then maybe I want to pull one of my players out and replace it with that one. Or I
Just an
might
idea.
run an
That's just an
option on
idea.
it.
That's just an idea. An idea
Yeah.
is a risk. It's a risk. Yeah, just an idea.
Yeah.
Are
So
your top 10 different from like this, including NVIDIA and Amazon, Apple, and all of those?
that's pretty what I got.
yep.
Now, I got NVIDIA. Now, as far as buy and hold, I got NVIDIA, Meta, Amazon, AVGO, Walmart. I just added APLD, Palantir.
Not AMD? You're not using AMD?
No.
Okay.
And then those same stocks, I'm kind of running. Last year I was all over the place. So this year I said I was going to run options on 4 stocks, which was AVGO, MU, Palantir, and Walmart. Those were my 4. And I stuck to that rule at the beginning of the year. But then when the bottom fell out, they was way down. So I had to find stocks that, are getting ready to run so I can recoup some money. So I've been on SPY here lately.
Yeah.
Now SPY, I can play that thing up and down.
But are you playing it are you charting it or just doing it from the pullback?
I initially start charting it, but
Yeah.
one thing about SPY is the market in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was at 550 when I got into it. So, and we were worried about the tariffs and all that, 550, 560, boom, come back down. 550, 560, boom, come back down. Because we never could get that run. But then, after the tariff thing, it just starts slowly moving.
Oh yeah, you're not day trading, you're doing the months out, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
the SPY plays I've been running since it was 550. I'll choose a strike price in January 26, 20 expiration. If it was 550, I choose the 570 strike, January expiration. Made a little money, sold it, came back down, boom, 580 strike, January expiration. Went up, made a little money, sold it, came back down. I just been running that here lately. And now we up to 600. I just sold all my SPYs today.
I decreased my position and I had like 10 contracts in it. I broke it down to like maybe 4, something like that. I broke it down to maybe like 4, just got a lot of my money out of it. And yeah, I like that.
Tavares, I want you to set your goal to at least get out of your contracts 40 to 50%, okay? Don't let your money go red.
Okay, all right.
Don't let your money go red again, please.
Set contracts 40. So you saying from what you this is therapy for me. I need y'all. Like, I'm serious. Like I can be more than a tad bit foolish. I'm not gonna go into my
You
life
were
story.
up 200%.
Well, I'm gonna be a little more harsh, man. Don't shit on 40K no more, man.
Thank
You cheated on it.
Yeah, but I say this humbly. It's I've been through a lot of my life, man. I've been through a lot of my life, man. Like some of the cases I didn't cost me more than that. So I kind of like, I kind of ain't really got nothing to lose, man. Like I'm in a. You all are helping me so much. I'm serious. Like y'all don't understand. Y'all gonna make me quiet. Y'all don't understand.
Go put a rubber band on your wrist.
I'm going for everything. I want everything God got for me to get. And sometimes I believe so deep because I've been watching it so long. I'm like, I can come back from this, but I don't want time to catch me if I really need it. That's the part. Like 40%. That's why I'm asking about rules. Like this is if I could take a screenshot to tell y'all, like I've been writing this down. My wife says to me, she was like, you need to come up with some rules. Not because we suffering in our house, but because she sees foolish confidence, maybe foolish pride. I'm not sure, but so let me give it to you like this. Liberation Day came, and I was following Trap. I'm getting in with some of his plays. He dropping. I got my own. Liberation Day came, and so I'm gonna back up a little bit more. I was in Tokyo. I dropped a picture. I was in Tokyo in January, and Deep Sea dropped, and they on a different time as us. So what's happening over here is it's kind of behind because they 12 hours in front of us, 13 hours in front of us. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on over there? I'm somewhere else. Fast forward to Liberation Day, I'm like, okay, I went down like $300,000, but I got time. I'm following Trap's playbook. He says we buying time. I did not feel a need to panic. I asked Fabian during this call, what did you do? I sat in it. I was down 80%. I watched my account go down 300 grand. 2.5 months later, I'm all the way back plus $100-some-thousand. So my faith is working for me, but my decision making is extremely questionable. Y'all understand what I'm saying a little bit?
I got you, man. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Stephanie. But with you, man, cause you have the bread. What I think is you just having fun with the game.
No, I'm
At
not
the
having
end of the
fun.
day,
It's
you're not.
it's a
This means
thrill.
something. This means something. No, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a thrill. It's not a game. Like, I have small children. I got to pay for college in a few more years. It's not a game, but I need
Man, you should.
it.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Well,
It's not a game. It's for
like she
it's
was
for sure
saying,
not a game.
as far as your rules, clearly the 100% don't mean nothing to you. So, do you need to look at percentages or look at dollar amounts? What you think?
I want to just know that I'm winning. I put in. So let me give you an example. I'm trying to develop rules. I need some discipline in my life. I put in an A-net play last Friday. A-net dropped down. Those of you who watching the market, it dropped down like 86 and some change. I've been watching the market. I'm like, this is not an $86 stock. It's much more. Now, if you go back, Fabian, because I be DMing you like, let me see the sheet again. Trap put in a 120 call in January. 120 A-net call in January. So if you look at that play, I got in that, and it went south. It turned green for a few minutes, and then it went the other way after that. I've been
Yeah, I
down.
feel in that.
I kept it because I'm listening to our leader. He said we buying time. Cool. I saw A-net last week at $86. After Liberation Day, I saw it drop down to like 70 something. And I was scared of it because I done lost most of my money in the first place. I'm like, this is not an $86 stock. I put an alert in. Let me know when it dropped down below $87. Alert go off. I check it. It's at 86 and some change, 86.19, something like that. I say, okay, cool. I go to the rules that I've jotted down so far. The rules I've jotted down so far. I'm asking you for more rules because I'm trying to get more discipline. Fabian, you understand what I'm saying?
I got you, man.
I'm wilding right now. I'm not. Listen, I don't got it like that, but I believe in the market. I believe in my ability to operate this machine.
Hey, man, you operating the machine. You don't prove that. You don't prove that you can get in the right stock. You don't prove that you can make profit. But guess what? You're not doing. You're not taking the profit. So this is a rule you need to establish for yourself when to take profit. Because
I put in the play
that work.
I put in a play at 86 and some change. Contracts, whatever it was, $3 and some change, whatever it was. I book up. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go.
So what you in right now that's green?
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm in. So that play, let me just tell you about that play. I get in, I do a 95 call. It's at 86, I do a 95 call. This is Friday afternoon. I do a 95 call. Monday morning, the market opened up. As soon as the market up, I'm up 12 grand. I'm up 60-some%. This is all that's in my head. Patreon say, see profit, take profit. See profit, take profit. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna sit in this. It's been 2 days. I didn't bought a September date. I'm up 60-some%. I said I'm gonna see what happened tomorrow. The next day, Tuesday, yesterday, I hit 111. Rules. I say, okay, go back to the rules. Sell half. I sell half. I get all my money back. Today, it go to 126%. In my mind, I'm like, all right, if you would have left all that in there, you would have been up in another 10 bands. But I don't want to be greedy. Cool. I'm trying to establish disciplines that it don't matter what happened afterward. Don't chase money that you didn't have. Don't chase it. I'm trying to get some rules. That's why I'm having this conversation with you all. And I appreciate everything y'all giving me back.
I got you, bro.
This is what's happening. I watch this. I had a Netflix 910 call. Netflix 910 call. I put in, if you go back through the Patreon, I say, listen, I'm up 66% on this play. What y'all think? Somebody say see profit, take profit. I sold it. Netflix is trading at $1,200 some dollars now. Do y'all understand my pain?
Now on that Netflix though, that thing go up and go down. So you sold it, but you also should have been able to get back in though. That's the rinse and repeat. You don't have to hold it and continue to hold it when you can play the same play 2 or 3 times. You got to kind of put that in your strategy and rules too, especially like Netflix. If you was in at 1,000 and sold it, it came back down.
I had a 910 call. I bought it at 8 and some change. I had a 910 call.
Yeah.
And it hit, boom. After Liberate, it hits. Everything is, stuff is going crazy. I'm like, see profit, take profit. I had about, 5 or 6, 10 people responded. Like, see profit, take profit. Like it. I'm like, all right. Trap said, we taking 25s, 30s, we taking that off the table. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm sitting up here looking at Netflix. I'm sitting up here looking at Netflix and said 1,200 and some change. In my mind, that would have been one of them ones.
Yeah, Trap been doing that here lately though. He been taking the profit and then jump back into play. So he done ran 3 or 4 different Netflix the same way you're talking about.
Right. Well, okay.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily hold them. He sold them and then ran another play. So I don't want that to trip you up either, because everybody is woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like we talking now, I should have sold and now I don't have nothing, or I should have held, I could have got more. Everybody's on the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But at the end of the day, I just want you to focus on leaving the table with something.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate that. Let me go on here real quick. I want to thank Sheila. Sheila, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I need rules. Like I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't even really like to talk numbers because I don't care about that. I just want to be good at what I do. I want to be responsible. I want to be a responsible steward with what God is trusting me in. That's what I want to be. I want to be responsible.
Somebody drill this in my head too. I know you heard see profit, take profit. I don't necessarily.
Yeah. I don't think I want to hear it no more.
my saying is, don't let a green play turn red.
Turn red, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've let that happen more than a few times, but you just don't never know.
I have too, but it definitely wasn't 40,000. I probably would still be sick somewhere.
Nah, yeah, it's just my life. The things I've been through is kind of like, cool. It don't affect me like that. And this is how does Trap put it? Your fortitude. That's how he puts it. In the options masterclass, like your fortitude. What's your stomach for pain? And mine is a tad bit. You just heard me say, like, I can't explain it to my wife. I can't pay the mortgage next month. I can't explain it to her, but
hey,
I don't want to be a fool.
Stephanie's question here real quick. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How are you, family? Good evening. So, Fabian, I had a question. I'm looking at your Patreon Options Anonymous in October 30th, the rinse and repeat. I've been studying that, and you go over your plays with technical analysis to see where you went wrong in that SMH play.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that with my plays as well. I just started today, and the first play that I'm going over is in February. Trap went over a Palantir 110 call for September 19th. I'm going over everything and I'm realizing I got out way too early and I still made profit. I made 30%, but I could have hit that 100. Now, in that call, you talk about the alligator method, and I've been studying that. So I went back to my trading view chart and I went to when we all bought with Trap in February 20th, and I see that the lips crossed over the lines and that one of the candles closed above the teeth. Now, in April, it does that again, indicating an uptrend, but then it's like, okay, so this is the part I'm confused. So we were in a downtrend for February. The lips crossed. And then in March, the lips cross above the teeth and the jaw. But instead of getting, I guess you could have gotten out, but then it goes up in an uptrend. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm sorry.
Well, you are. I see that you was really watching the videos. I understand everything you're saying. But we had this argument in the Patreon because everybody was pissed off. It was hard to do technical analysis because Trump would talk and his news would disturb the flow of the play. So technical analysis, you're expecting it to go one way, but all he had to do was do a tweet or get on the news and say something, and the stock ends up going in reverse. So it was hard to gauge plays, and a lot of people was having that conversation.
Okay.
Still follow the chart, still follow the charts. Man, how you gonna follow the charts when he's saying something and he manipulating the market?
Right, because that's what I'm seeing. It looks like it's consolidating between March and April. And then you think that, again, following the alligator method, you think that, okay, here's an uptrend and it goes down.
Yeah, market news.
So that whole thing is just, I have to throw it away, right? Because it's not going to make sense. It's not following the pattern or the foundation or the fundamentals that it would usually.
Correct. Yeah, to a certain extent, because like I said, once the news dropped and everybody went a different way, then it's kind of recalibrating, and then the technical analysis will start from where it is now and go back doing what it's supposed to do, unless some new news is dropped to make it go up faster or go back down faster.
Right. Okay. That was the only thing I was confused about, and thank you for answering that. I really appreciate it.
But hey, you tracking your data though. I see that you
Yeah.
got all the information.
I gotta go back, to look to understand, and I love that you guys are putting technical analysis. I love your videos, Vivian. I'm really understanding them, and you break it down so simple as well, just like Trap. So I want to thank you because I've been watching your videos and they're helping a lot.
Appreciate that.
Are they in the Patreon, the videos?
It's on his YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's on his YouTube channel.
Oh, you have, okay.
I put the link in here.
Oh, Davian, I'm sorry. I have one more question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
In that same video, Janelle, you talk about Janelle's entry where she divides that premium by 2 to guarantee that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're dividing that high by 2, that number that you get is what you're trying to pay for the contract. You don't go more than that, correct?
Yeah, that just kind of gives you, what, I don't even use that no more, but it's still valuable to some. But
why don't you need to use that anymore? Because you're doing.
I have it on my my page. I have it on my options chain now. I have the 52-week high and the 52-week low of the premium.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's all she's showing you guys, getting your premium at a discount.
Okay.
That's what that formula is that she's showing you. So if the current price is $17 and she divides it by 2. I'm sorry, not the current price, the all-time high.
Mhm.
Okay.
She divide that by 2.
Right.
And then whatever that is the premium price you want to go in at or lower, because you're going to have at least that much upside back up to the highest premium that was paid, because that's going to be your profit. Yeah, ultimately premium price, I want everybody to understand this. Premium price is your percentages on your platform. So if you got in at $6, 100% is what? $12.
12.
Yep. So if your premium is $6, when it gets to $12, because you'll see your premium going up, going down, going up. When your premium get to $12, you know that you're at 100%.
Right.
So the way I run my numbers, I might say premium $6. I'm good with 50% profit. So that would be $8.50, $9.
Mm-hmm.
So when the premium hit $9, I know I'm at 50%. I'm gonna go ahead and take cash. That's something you need, Tavares.
Yeah.
So that's your percentages. You already know them off the bat. So that's why I don't necessarily worry about stop losses, because I already done did the math on what my premium needs to be for me to get out.
There we go. Do the math.
Right. Right. Okay. Do you suggest doing that though, since I don't have that other?
Well, you can just do what I just did. What the Janelle thing is nothing wrong with that. But
Okay.
if you get in, like I'm just using 6 because it's an easy number.
Mm-hmm.
If your premium is $6, you can go ahead and start doing your math for your percentages right now.
Right. Right.
So, like, if I ain't got time, I'll go ahead and say I want to get out at 50%. So I'm gonna go ahead and set me a limit to sell it at $9. Whenever $9 hit, I'm okay with 50% profit, and this thing is gonna execute. You need a lot of that, bro.
Okay.
Matter of fact, that's how you need to start doing your plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't gonna sell them on your own, Tavares.
I just wrote it down. Use limits. Don't be foolish. I just wrote it down. I swear. I can take a picture. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish.
So premium price moves with the stock price. So I tell everybody, that's why when you're knowing what the all-time high of the stock is, wait for the stock pullback, and then whatever the premium price is at that time, because you do want a decent pullback, because you need the stock to go back up so your premium can go up with the stock, because that's where you make your money from, the premium.
Okay.
So let me understand this, David. So instead of doing that, you know how you say you don't divide by 2 anymore. You divide it you divide it into that all-time high. That's how you do it.
Well, are you asking me about the premium, or are you asking about stock price?
I think the question Stephanie was asking. So you said you take your all-time high and divide it by 2 to get your stock.
That's what she was asking me. That's what Stephanie was asking me, because Janelle does a video of not buying your premium price too high. So the highest premium, because y'all saw me do that earlier on my option chain, right? I said that 52 was the highest premium ever paid. And we was currently at 16.
Okay.
So half of 52 was what? 20 something?
Yeah.
So that premium meets our goal.
The $16.
Yeah, because half of 52 was only 20 something, and that premium was 16. So it's
Okay.
okay to get in that play. That means you got upside. Your
Okay.
premium has room to grow.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and look at that. Okay. Okay.
And then if you get in at 16, 100% of 16 is what, 36? Oh, yeah.
32.
Yeah, that's 100% right there. So
Oh,
you
because it's
automatically
double.
know, you automatically know you bought the contract for
Okay.
$16 premium, and you know it's going to take it to get up to 32 for you to get 100%.
Okay. Good.
Just knowing those simple numbers are going to keep your stress down
Okay.
and kind of know what's going on, because now this 32, going back to what Tavares dealt with earlier, the theta still coming off this thing daily. So it takes a little more work to get up to that 32. The longer
How
it
much
takes.
time does it? How much time does it take to get to the 32?
And see
Minus the theta.
this is why you was in a perfect situation, bro, because you just mentioned you jumped in 2 stocks that took off immediately. You didn't
Right.
have theta going against you. You had already made your money. That's what you want. Even
I
though you
bought
bought
time.
time,
Yeah, I
even
bought
though you
time.
bought time, we should have took our money and been gone. That
Yeah.
was just quick money on the table, flipped to go run another play.
Well, I obeyed the rules in that instance. Like I said, I sat in it that one day. I kind of like took some of the market circumstances. So last Friday was quad winching. So I'm like, maybe just the bigger people are the big guys is like repositioning, rebalancing their, whatever they doing. And maybe ANET is one of the ones they like, yeah, we can do this. So that drove it down. The drive down in the stock price happened over a few days as opposed to it declined over a few weeks. Like, people lost interest over a few weeks. They lost interest in a few days. So over a few days. So that situation, I'm like, maybe quad winching has something to do with they rebalancing, and I'm catching it in the clearance aisle.
That's true.
I'm catching it in the clearance aisle. So when I saw it, I've been watching. I watched every day how it had been moving. I'm like, yeah, ain't nothing changed about the story, what you told me earlier. So let me jump in this at this number, and it paid off.
Yeah, that's a sweet situation right there. You definitely want to take advantage of. I got you, Kanisha. Yeah, because when you mentioned that, the video Stephanie's talking about where I went over to rinse and repeat, I mentioned that in that video, man, how it only took like a week for me to flip the money, and I got out, and then I got back in, and it kept going. I got out, then I got back in, all within like a 2-week span. That's the perfect world for your money. It is not tied up long. You don't flipped it, and you right back in there doing another flip. And I didn't give it back to the market. So you got those type of opportunities, man. So you jumping into plays at the right time. Yeah, we just got to pull that money out, man.
Yeah, I don't want to day trade. I don't want to do that. I got too much. I got small kids I got to pay attention to, and they drive me crazy. So I can't watch the market all day. But I see opportunity, and I saw that. I was like, yeah, let's do this.
I got you. Let me get Kanisha.
Hi, thank you, Fabian. Quick question: do you have a free resource where you chart option to option chain, so you can look at the option history of a of an option? I remember there was
The
one
history.
before. Yeah, like you can just like we can chart the stock price. Have the ability to chart the option premium.
I think stockcharts.com has the premium history. I don't
But does it
necessarily
have a
know
chart as well to allow you to chart the actual premium?
the premium.
Yeah, because I know bar chart used to do it, but and it used to be on the free version, but it may be on the paid version now. So I was just wondering if there was another resource to allow you to do that.
No, I haven't used that. I chart the stock price,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't charted the premium.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Well, thank you all. That was my question. I was just wondering if you're aware of the resource to do that.
Now I use bar charts, and I do use the free version to do all my charting, but it's based off the stock candles.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to look that up. I might be able to find it, but once again, I'm on the free version.
Yeah, I know it used to be free. I know, like 4 years ago, when I was following the cousins. What is it? Come Up series
Mm-hmm.
with Mark Monroe,
Yep.
and that's how I was able to do it there when I was following them. But you know, that's been what, like 3-4 years now, and I don't see that option anymore, that feature. So I was just wondering if there was another resource to do it.
Gotcha.
Yep. But thank you all.
What brokerage are you on?
I'm sorry.
What brokerage do you use?
Right now I use E-Trade for my
I just
options.
I just looked it up. It said that you can do it on E-Trade.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
It
Thank
says
you.
go to the trade tab, find the options contract, right click, and then you can view and analyze the trade just like a stock premium to see the
Oh,
premium.
okay. Thank you. Because I'm always on my phone, so I guess it would be best if I do it from my computer, and I'll be able to do that. Okay. All right. Thank
Or
you.
you can use your web browser and switch it to desktop if you're on your phone. If you don't want to just get on the computer.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh, and I just wanted to say that it resonate with I res well what you all are saying about getting out the trade too soon and the mark and the money's and the stock still running. That resonate with me because I've done that with CrowdStrike and Goldman Sachs, and just watching it just run, it just frustrates me so bad. But hey, I'm
That's called
green.
greed. That's called greed.
Yeah, yeah. I got out green. I didn't let the play turn red, but
Hey, that's all that matter, because I go ahead and tell you, you'll be a lot more madder if it was red.
right. I'm definitely channeling my emotions and learning a lot about myself and trying to get more disciplined even with my emotions about it. Like, it is what it is, and at least you didn't go red. Yeah.
Hey, base hits are important now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Talk,
100% is home runs.
talk, man.
Yeah,
Talk.
base hits. Get to first base. Get to second base. All it takes is 425%ers to get you 100. You ain't got to get it all at one time, all the time. Ask me how I know.
I keep reminding myself the market isn't going anywhere, so that helps me. I'm like, it's gonna always be here, so that it helps my emotions behind it. It helps me sleep at night. Put it like that.
Yeah. And see, if you got that 10 stock checklist, you know what I'm saying? After you been in a play and it done ran up and you done exhausted it, you don't took the profit. Now you got to wait for it to come back down. One of your other plays, it might be time for it to run. And then you jump into that and watch it run. Take profit at the top. Then the one that you just got out of probably don't fail back down enough for you to get back into that one. That's the power of the 10 stock checklist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what you said in the video too. It's so easy to look back and see where you went wrong. But when the chart is like, you're on that day, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So it's not like you can go read the chart and see what's going to happen. But it's easy to see your mistakes when you're looking back at them.
And what was your thought process at the time?
I was new, so I just started, got in the Patreon in January, and I studied the fundamentals. I got that down, and I realized that Trap is now doing technical analysis, so I'm trying to learn that. And honestly, like I said, your videos, between you and Janelle's videos, it's been helping me so much more. So I'm doing what you're doing. I'm looking back at everything and seeing where I went wrong and applying that to technical analysis. And because I know these companies are good. That's where Trapp's method comes in. These are solid companies. So what's happening in the market? What's the chart telling me? That's what I need to learn. You know?
For sure. Anybody got anything else? We'll go ahead and close out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
Right,
you.
man. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, dog. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna put this. I gotta edit it and everything like that, and then I put it up on a YouTube reel and share it out to you guys, so you can go back and review.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you. We
man.
appreciate
God rest
it.
well. God bless.
Have a good night, guys.
Nice meeting everyone.
All right, take care.